Hi, fourth grade friends. You're going to need your worksheet today and your math notebook and a glue stick to get it glued in. So pause the video while you get your worksheet glued in. Okay, so let's take a look at our worksheet. We're going to start talking about patterns. And we're not going to do this for very long because this is something that we start to see already in our lives and we catch on pretty quickly to patterns. So we're not going to spend too long on these just this week, okay? So, patterns. You can generate or make a number or shape pattern that follows a given rule and identify different apparent features of the pattern or things that it has. What do you notice in the pattern? A feature is something that it has. So what do you notice? Look for, see if you see any even or odd patterns. There's a certain number of sides or any angles going on. Is it a certain type of pattern, like A, B, A, B, B? Or is there a rule? Something happen each time. So let's take a look. We're starting with 5, and then we're going to add 4. So we have 5 here. And what it tells us to do is a rule. So it means it has to happen each time. We're going to add 4. Well, 5 plus 4 is 9. So now I'm at 9, and I keep that rule of adding 4. And I know that that would be 13. 9 plus 4 is 13, because 10 plus 4 would be 14. Minus 1 is 13. So 13 plus 4, 4, 5, 6, 17. Keep going, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 plus 4 is 25. 25 plus 4 is 29. And 29 plus 4, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. What do you notice so far about these patterns? Just give me a moment and think about it. Look at the numbers. Well, I notice they are all odd. And did you notice the ones place begins to repeat? Like we have 5, 9, we have a 3 in the ones, then a 7, then a 1. And here we have a 5 again in the ones, then a 9, then a 3. So using that, what can we infer? Our ones place would have to be in our next number. It should be ending with a 7 in our ones place. And if we add 4 to 33, 34, 35, 36, it would be 37. Keep that pattern going. All right, so let's try this one down here. This time we have shapes. So we're going to draw the next 2 shapes in the pattern. So we start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have, I see 4 again here, and there's another 4 next to it. Well, then if we look here, I see, wrong color. Go back. Make it a little thinner too. I see that shape right here again. See how it's the 2 just like we had before? And I added 4 more. So now I'm going to keep going. Because this is kind of hard for me to draw on my computer. So I'm just going to do 1, make it a little bigger. I'm just going to do kind of dots for my squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have my original one down, and I do 1, 2, 4. We noticed it's adding a column. So this time I should have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. I have my 4 again, and I add another column. So something that we noticed, the shape grows wider by a column of 4 each time. Keeps getting wider across, never gets taller, gets wider, and it goes by 4 each time. Why don't you try 1, 2, 3, 4 different patterns for me? This one wants you to draw the next 2 shapes in the pattern and tell me what you notice. Think back to those features. Draw the next 2 shapes here. What do you notice? Starting with 1, multiply by 3. Okay, what do you notice? Starting with 2 and double. So pause the video while you work on these different patterns. All right, so this time we're going to take a look at another sheet that I have that has these answers on it. So we needed to draw the next 2 shapes. You should have drawn a pentagon and a hexagon. You might have noticed they're all regular shapes. You might have said they're all shapes. Or you could have gone by the number of sides. We start with 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Did you catch on to that pattern? Maybe you noticed something else. Down here, we start with 1, then we have 3, then we have 6. What's happening is it gets bigger on the bottom by 1 and on the top by 1. So then we have 1 more on the side. Because if we look in here, we can see that original one. And then it adds another 1 to the bottom and the top and 2 to fill in. And we can see that in here, another 1 to the top and bottom, and then 3 to fill in. So it's increasing by 1 height and 1 on the base. So we start with 1, 3, 6, 10, and 5. So we start by adding 2, adding 3, adding 4, and adding 5. For multiplying by 3, we have 1, 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. 81 times 3 is 243. 243 is 729. 729 times 3 is 2,187. So our pattern is definitely getting bigger. It's increasing. All of the numbers are, what kind of numbers do you notice? They're all odd numbers. And we can see that pattern in that ones place repeats, kind of like we talked about before. 1, 3, 9, 7. 1, 3, 9, 7. And the last one, we started with 2, and then we had to double our number. So 2 times 2. We're not just timesing 2, we're doubling it. So because 2 is our number, 2 times 2 is 2. So then we have 4. Actually, we are just multiplying by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64. 64 times 2 is 128. And 128 times 2 is 256. Our pattern is increasing. And this time we have all even numbers. Did you see that pattern with the ones place here too? 2, 4, 8, 6, 2, 4, 8, 6. Patterns are awesome. All right, so that was our introduction to patterns, kind of a remembering day. We'll do more with patterns this week. But what I want you to do to finish math today is to log on and play Prodigy for 20 minutes, 15, 20, somewhere in there would be great. Make sure you log into your 4th grade account. Questions should just appear as you play then, should be things with patterns. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, take care.